Here's a day in the shop at Havik Performance.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands.
Like most performance shops, there's a ton of stuff going on. I've got a lot of great techs here. We've got a lot of different projects between heads and cam. We have got turbo builds. We've got supercharger full engine build. We've got events out the ass this year. We have to get all these cars ready in a shorter period amount of time. I have this car over here going to NVE in a couple weeks. Just came in, it's gotten our full heads cam package. It's getting all our tuning. From start to finish is usually about 2 to 3 weeks. Got a great tech, Colin, working on it. He's right now prepping all the headers and manifolds to go into the car. And next week do all the drivability and work on getting it up to the dyno. I'm really excited for this guy. He's gonna love it when we're done with it. Gonna do about 550 to the tire, and it's gonna be reliable again. Faster, so it can actually compete with things on the street, and then also have some more fun. So we have this Audi over here that George is working on diagnosing. We're having some issues with fuel pump assembly. We just went through and rebuilt a ton of stuff on it. We're building it to make 1,000 horsepower. But of course, when you do all of these things, not everything is always perfect, especially if someone else touched it before.
They're supposed to be inserted into the new connector to run the factory pump.
Well, that would explain why it's not triggering the pump.
But the new instructions don't explain anything like that. So in the old instructions, they kind of mention it. So
okay.
It's kind of hard to know which ones to use.
Well, that's why we deal with these problems.
Yes, we're gonna attach that. So I might either make a fire or it's gonna work.
All right, well, hopefully not the fire. Oh, your headers are here, Colin. It usually takes 3 weeks to make them because they're all custom. They were like, well, we can actually get them to you. Like, I could ship them out Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So I said, do it, but like, I want them Thursday. We can get them in the headers on, and everything can be basically together by end of day Friday. We have them here, and we can get this thing running. So then hopefully by the end of next week, we can basically say that this is good to go, and we can start really running it. Because NVE is gonna be here very fast. And this car's going to NVE, so we need to make sure it's ready, done, and everything has gone through it. So.
Whose trailer are you using?
Yeah. Well, you're bringing an extra truck. I'll bring an extra truck. U-Haul's got those nice new ones. All right, so this is the back shop. This is our new shop with as far as like 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, this got done. But we're gonna head up to the front where we still do some stuff, but it's definitely not nearly as pretty as this one. At least until we work on rebuilding it and go from there. With all the cars that we keep here, everything is in at night. Customer cars always try to stay inside. We keep things that way, and our customers are usually happier that way. So it keeps things a lot safer. I mean, we're out in rural Moore Township, Pennsylvania, so it's not too big of a deal, but we do keep everything inside while we're not working on it. Our shop mascot is clearly afraid of the camera. This is where the front shop ended up. Got some cars in here, some stuff came in, like this red car behind us, leaking oil into the coolant, and it's super milky. Started pulling some of the heads off. The fluid's disgusting, caked onto everything, so the heads are off. Hopefully finding if it's a head gasket leak or not. We just had our vinyl guys put all the vinyl striping together on it. We're powder coating the valve covers to match the stripes. We're powder coating the wheels. When they originally designed and developed the Vipers, Roy Schoberg wanted people to customize them and make them their own. It's not a huge platform for customization, but there are a lot of things you can change as far as color-wise and striping-wise. Guys like Roy would love to see that people are doing like a snakeskin colored green stripe on their black Viper, even though it didn't come like that from the factory. They love seeing stuff like that. Down here, here's a great example, right? On this guy's ACR, he wanted the headers to be bronze, but then the exhaust to be done in all black, so it looks pretty stock. But then, you know, it's getting our spark plug wires, it's getting the Bellinger headers, it's getting a prefix PCM. So like, we're doing all these things so he can be prepped and ready to go to tail the Dragon in a couple weeks. Some of this stuff gets dropped off and they're like, hey, we need this done in 2 weeks. And it's like, all right, well, I need custom headers, I need all these custom parts, and we're making sure that we get these things done as quick as possible. So when we do exhaust systems, we try to encourage our customers to Cerakote the pipes, which then drastically cuts down on the heat, which then drastically cuts down on any of the heat in your cabin and through the side sills. So when you get out of the car, you're not burning your leg like you would. See if the horn blows. Horn works. The starter relay is clicking, so we have to figure out why we're either not getting power down to the starter. The charger, let it charge for a little bit. It's super common that if the batteries on these get weak, the amperage drops. And as the amperage drops, you can have lights and everything on the dash, but then there's no way in hell it'll ever crank the starter over, and then it'll click the relay but won't click the starter if it doesn't have enough amperage. So now we'll just have to put it on a charger for a little bit, and then that should solve our problem. Yeah, that car has like some weird Canadian security system on it that you have to hit the unlock button or it won't start the car. And it's only on that one. No idea why.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
So if you look down in this hole, which is gonna be really hard to see. So if you can see down in there, I don't know if the camera's gonna be able to get too good of it, the actual sleeve of the block cracked, and that's where the coolant was going around the sleeves, around the pistons and going into the oil. And that's where it was all mixing in there. So he actually blew the sleeve out. So the block is definitely shot. Unfortunate for him, but we'll get it fixed and get him back on the road.
Does it run? I can't guarantee that.
Did you key it on?
I did.
Does it build fuel pressure?
I heard the pump go on.
Oh, that's good. Don't worry, I gotta hook into the DS1 and everything else and start data logging and get that situated onto the computer, and then we'll see, maybe she'll run. I am sitting in a Audi RS7. So these cars were pretty crazy stock. It's super luxurious, like this is awesome to sit in. I'm 6'3" and I fit in here comfortably, unlike most of the other cars I deal with. Basically, he wants to make 1,000 horsepower. So we went through and we're making sure that we do all the supporting mods. It has everything that this thing needs to do to make 1,000 and make it reliably, right? When he came to me and was like, Mike, I need this done, I want it done, and I want nothing to basically break so I could take it to the drag strip and I can go wherever the hell I need to go. I said, all right, let's make it happen. Very much a sleeper kind of car.
Do you think it's gonna start?
That's always the question, right? We got oil in it, right?
Yes. Oh,
No, we are running. That's always a good thing.
Good.
got a fuel leak.
We have a slight fuel leak somewhere up there that we'll have to handle and go from there. So now we've got this thing running. We did a ton of work to this thing, but we still have some things to kind of test out and go through and check out. But once we get that stuff sorted, we'll get this thing off to the dyno and start street tuning it.
All right, enough talking. Get back to work.